Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for being here this morning. Also want to give a special thank you to St. Vincent de Paul for allowing us to host this event here. So thank you to all the great people at St. Vincent de Paul. My name is Jerome Parker. I'm with First Christian Church, also a part of the Healthy Giving Council. And by the time this press conference is over, you'll have a really good idea and understanding of what the Healthy Giving Council is, what we stand for, what we do, and how you can be a support and an active participant in the Healthy Giving Council. So before we get started, I want to tell you just a quick personal story. Amongst our Healthy Giving Council members, we have deemed people as street feeders and street givers. And I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. If you're a street giver, you give on the street. If you're a street feeder, you feed on the street. And I used to be a street feeder / street giver until it was crazy. I would take urban youth downtown or any other part of the city where I knew where people were experiencing homelessness, and we would make sack lunches, or we would give out sweaters, or we would give blankets, and we would feel warm and fuzzy because we did something good. And that man that was experiencing homelessness, he got a blanket. And that young lady, she got a sandwich. Until one day, the people that we were serving started throwing the sandwiches away, and they were complaining that they didn't like cheese, or the blanket that we gave was too itchy. And so it began to be trash on the street. And I had a conversation with my wife, and she said, you know what? This is probably not the best way to do this. This is probably not a good idea. You should probably find a different way to give, a more healthy way to give. And so that was about 4 years ago. And so fast forward to 2017, in conjunction with Maricopa County and the City of Phoenix and just great nonprofit organizations like St. Vincent de Paul and Lodestar Day Resource Center, I began to be educated. And I had this personal journey, this personal epiphany of, I don't want to be an unhealthy giver anymore. I want to do something that's really going to impact these people that are experiencing homelessness. And I started asking myself the question, what can I really do to help this man or this woman actually take steps towards ending their homelessness? And so I began to challenge myself in that. And like I said, with the partnerships with the City of Phoenix and Maricopa County, the Healthy Giving Council was born. And so our whole message, our whole mantra is not to stop giving, because that is a part of our human makeup. That is a part of every human being. There's some good in everyone. And there's a lot of things that we've been hearing in the news that would make you challenge that statement that there's some good in everyone. But there is. And so we're not telling people to stop giving or to stop being nice or to stop having a heart to serve. But what we are saying is, let's do it in a healthy way. What would it look like if we actually did the work to get into the depths and crevices of people's lives that are experiencing homelessness and find a way to really help them in their homelessness? One way to do that is to not street feed and not street give. It just perpetuates their problem. It perpetuates their issues. And it really highlights the fact that maybe we're a little bit lazy. And so as you're listening to me today, I want you to just kind of internalize this messaging and be introspective and ask yourself, what can I do? What more can I do? How can I be better at these good intentions that I have? How can I be better at helping a man or a woman actually end their homelessness? And that's what the Healthy Giving Council is all about. We're going to talk more about that as the press conference goes on, and I'll give you some more details before we actually close out for today. Before we proceed, I do want to highlight some of our distinguished guests here, the council members and City of Phoenix officials and Maricopa County officials. You've heard the cliche that it takes a village. And it is cliche, but it's so true. There is nothing that one individual can do. There's nothing that one organization can do or one entity can do that will supersede the impact of us doing something together. And here's an acronym I like to use. It's not mine. I just borrowed it. You can use it too. It's called TEAM. And the acronym for TEAM is Together, Everybody Achieves More. And so I am elated that you all have come here today, that St. Vincent de Paul has let us use their facility, that there is so much support in helping get this messaging across to really make an impact and a change in our community. It's very encouraging. It's very refreshing. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. We should all feel good about today. It's going to be great. All right? So without any further ado or delay, I want to introduce Amy Schabenlender, who is the Executive Director of our Human Services Campus downtown, and she's going to come and say a few words to you.
Good morning. Thank you to our host, St. Vincent de Paul, and our elected officials. Thanks for being with us. I love the idea of team because none of us can work on ending homelessness, breaking the cycle of poverty, and all those complex social issues alone. I am Amy Schabenlender, the Executive Director at the Human Services Campus, wrapping up my 3rd month of employment on the campus. 90 days in, yeah, some of you have heard me talk about it as a trimester. It is, in a way, giving birth to a lot of new things on the campus and strengthening family on the campus and with many partners. Before that, I was at Valley of the Sun United Way for 13 years and had the great honor and privilege of working with many of the people in the room on these same issues. And having that experience has given me a foundation to build upon in my work on the campus. Some of you know the Human Services Campus is a place. It's been open since 2005. It's been open 365 days a year since for individuals, single adults experiencing homelessness. The Human Services Campus, Inc. is also a nonprofit, which is who I represent, and I'm representing the other dozens of partners that also operate on the campus. What some people may not know, because we're relatively hidden at the corner of 12th Avenue in Madison, is that behind a gate through an entry center and a front door that the Human Services Campus operates for individuals who want to access services. Behind that gate, clients have access to 3 meals a day. They have access to shelter, to state benefit programs. The Department of Economic Security is a tremendous partner on the campus. Employment services, healthcare and medical respite beds, identification and vital records, connection to permanent housing programs, behavioral and mental health services, dental services, a mailing address and ability to receive mail, and so much more. And all of that goes on every single day. And we see over 1,000 people every day coming onto the campus and accessing one or more of those services. Nearly 500 people sleep in the emergency shelter every single night. So when giving happens outside of the campus, beyond our control, things can happen that affect our organizations and those very people that we want to serve best. Our ideal outcome is that everyone moves from an experience of homelessness into permanent, stable, affordable housing. What happens sometimes when groups are giving outside of the campus, when they are handing out food and other things that they believe are well-intentioned, is that some of those clients then don't return to the campus to continue to access services. And while we're working so hard in collaboration with all these partners to move people into housing, if they're distracted, if they're engaged and they move away from the campus, they may actually lose their place in line, so to speak, to receive a housing voucher. And then it becomes harder for us on the campus to re-engage those individuals and connect them back to services. The food sharing can also lead to things like a lot of trash in the streets, to people not eating all of the food that they're given, by coming from a mentality of not necessarily knowing where their next meal is coming from, not remembering they can go to St. Vincent de Paul for lunch. They can hoard food, and then it ends up being thrown out on the street, which obviously is a huge issue of garbage and trash on the street. Those issues, though, are not singular to the Human Services Campus, and part of all of us coming here today and talking about this as a regional issue is that same activity does occur. The same activity occurs in other places in the community, like parks, community centers, and other public spaces. So the message today is not just about the Human Services Campus as you hear these examples. It is about the issue that occurs in other places across the valley. Our organizations do need time and resources. On the campus, there's already an abundance of food and meals, and on behalf of all of the partners that operate with us on the Human Services campus, we ask and invite you to connect directly with us to share your generosity and giving nature. And we welcome everyone to come and visit for a tour to see the work that's done there every single day. With that, it's my honor to introduce our next speaker, Devin Torres, who he is currently employed by Community Bridges, and he's going to share his personal story. I've had the opportunity to work with him a little bit over the last 3 months, and he's exceptional in what he does day to day to support our clients. And with that, here's Devin.
Good morning, my name is Devin Torres. For 26 years, I suffered with addiction, and this led me to cycling in and out of the criminal justice system, ending up in prison and jail multiple times over a 12-year period. I also experienced homelessness, living on the overpass on 51st Avenue and the I-10, as well as many other places not meant for human habitation, as well as other personal great losses such as family and friends. In 2012, I was released from jail with the focus of attending a recovery program in the hopes of changing my life. I attended the Salvation Army, which was a program that is run entirely on donations. This meant that when it came time to take care of my physical health, I would have to utilize services away from the facility. Services had to be close and accessible to me. The Human Services Campus is a centralized facility that provide care for my medical and dental needs. And St. Vincent de Paul's provided meals for me when I was away from the facility. In my early recovery, these agencies empowered me in allowing me to easily address my long-term and vital needs. I'm grateful for the different roles that agencies such as Community Bridges and the Human Services Campus, along with St. Vincent de Paul's, provide. These agencies foster independence, growth, education, and support. I am living proof that utilizing these types of services assist in the creation of a sustainable life. The journey I have been on in my recovery led me to employment with Community Bridges, where I'm the Housing and Community Integration Manager. This position helps me to return to Cass campus to provide services to individuals experiencing homelessness, such as case management, counseling, independent living skills, and psych services. The impact of my recovery on my life is nothing short of a miracle. I'm a better husband, I'm a better father, I'm a better son, I'm a better friend, I'm a better student, I'm a better employee, I'm a better person. To get where I am today, it took more than just a meal. I owe this all to individuals that are a part of agencies that directly impact others through providing specialized services and resources. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to share my story. At this time, I'm going to introduce Jessica Burke from St. Vincent de Paul. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Jessica Burke. I'm the Chief Program Officer at St. Vincent de Paul. I've been in nonprofit work for my entire career, which is longer than it looks. I'm a little bit older than I look, so that does actually mean something. I spent 7 years as the Executive Director at the Lodestar Day Resource Center on the Human Services campus, and so I remember firsthand what Amy and Jerome and Devin have been talking about. Let me tell you a little bit about where you're sitting and what we do at St. Vincent de Paul. We're a little bit of a well-kept secret. Half of our mission is to feed, clothe, house, and heal those in need. And so when we say feed, behind you is a very large kitchen where we make 4,200 meals every day. That's 1.5 million meals every year, and we serve those in one of our 5 dining rooms. This dining room right here where you're sitting, families come at night and they sit with tablecloths and they get menus and they sit with their family and they're served by wait staff. And over here, the Dream Center, the kids can come and get help with their homework and tutoring, and we really try to inspire them to stay in school and make something important and special of their own lives when they get older. We use food from our 3 urban farms, organic products that people might not otherwise have access to. We have a food warehouse, and we bring 400,000 food boxes every year to those in need in their own homes. We also have a water truck. We do outreach and bring water and life-saving food and clothing to people that may not be in an area like the Human Services Campus where there are resources. We do that outreach and try to encourage people to get services. In addition, as I said, we clothe, house, and heal in many, many other ways in our community. And we do all of this. We strive to create a really inclusive community where there's sanctuary and there's hope and there's kindness. And that is only half of what we do. This is the other half of what we do. So what this poster represents, we have 32 volunteer opportunities every day in 13 different locations. The other half of our mission is giving people the opportunity to serve. So what we do, we could not do without you. 95% of our workforce are volunteers. We need about 250 volunteers every day, and folks are in need every single day of the year. We're really about connecting our community. We have opportunities for all different ages. And volunteerism is the way we work because we really believe that's how the community works best. We're all in this together. And you all can help us be a safety net for so many people in need. We know that we cannot end hunger and homelessness and poverty simply, and we definitely can't do it alone. But together we can do that, and together we can make sure that people living with those hardships are not abandoned. Healthy giving. We know there is so much desire to give, especially around the holidays. Our community is so incredibly caring, and there's such a need that we all feel to make sure that people are not abandoned. And so what happens around this time of the year is that sometimes the givers outweigh those being given to. And I remember very much I wish I'd taken a picture of it, but I think it was before the iPhone. This dumpster right around the Human Services Campus, that either the day after Thanksgiving or the day after Christmas, and it was overflowing, and there were boxes of wrapped gifts that had not been unwrapped, and there was those same boxes and trash all over the streets. And it made me so incredibly sad to see this and to see the love that our community had put in to try to give and to see it going to waste. We also think of food as love, and so people think, how can I give love? They want to give that sustenance and that nourishment. And they may not know, as Amy said, that there are meals every day right around the campus at Andre House and at St. Vincent de Paul. There is absolutely, trust me, no shortage of calories around the Human Services Campus. People are really well fed, and so when people bring food on the street, sometimes that food goes to waste, or sometimes the food in our kitchen goes to waste because people have already eaten so many meals along the street. And I wish there were lots and lots of trash cans around there, but it's public streets and there's not enough trash cans to hold all that trash. So please partner. I love what Jerome said about team. Please partner with us. Help us serve the meals to folks every day in a safe, clean, dignified environment. We literally cannot do it without you. There's so many ways that you can be part of the St. Vincent de Paul family or part of the families of all of these nonprofits. As I said, volunteer, especially starting on December 26th. We are going to be flooded with, we already are flooded with volunteers because people have that giving spirit, and we ask you to please spread your generosity around throughout the year. If you're motivated to start now during the holidays, please let that be a start. We need you so much in the summer when the temperatures are so high and it's harder to find volunteers in the summer, but we have the same exact programs going. There is the same need for the same amount of meals. If you love the outreach aspect, I know people get a lot of satisfaction out of giving on the streets, and ministering or connecting to folks on the streets, please join us in our water truck that does go out to people who are not connected to services and help us invite them to come use services and to make some changes in their lives. Other ways to get involved easily, call us. We'll pick up your no longer needed treasures for our thrift stores, which help us support our programs. Do drives in your neighborhood. We always need non-perishable foods. All of the organizations need water and clothing and hygiene items. And of course, sharing your financial resources. Most of us are eligible for the Working Poor Tax Credit. And again, we cannot do it without you. You can learn more about all this at stvincentdepaul.net or 602-261-6886. Just thank you so much for your generous hearts and your desire to give. Most of what I see with the groups that we've talked about as street feeders or street givers is just this incredible desire to really give love, and that is so much of what we're about at St. Vincent de Paul. Please bring your love, and we can multiply it if we do it together. Thank you so much. I'm gonna bring Jerome back up. Thank you.
All right. Well, some really great information, right? So I want to get this message across. Two things: healthy giving, right? That's the whole reason why we're here. We want that phrase to be a coined phrase, a household term. And then, as I mentioned before, team. We have to do this together. So just a quick math problem. I know you all love math because it made sense to you while you were in high school, right? But just think, if I'm feeling really generous in my street giver, street feeder days, I would make up 100 sack lunches, right? And that would cost me, I don't know, $50 or whatever the case may be. But if I said, you know what, why don't I take my time and my talent and my influence and all these great, wonderful things that are inside of me, and what if I go partner with St. Vincent de Paul, and now my 100 sack lunches just became 4,200 meals in one day, right? And all I did is I didn't stop giving, I just redirected my giving to a healthy giving cause. That's our whole message. That's what we're trying to get across. So hopefully you all embrace this message and run with it and tell your friends, don't be a street giver, don't be a street feeder, be a healthy giver. So at this time, we've been working on a PSA, like I said, in partnership with the City of Phoenix and Maricopa County. And so all of you that are on the stage, I'd ask you to go down into the audience seats so that you can see the PSA. And there's no popcorn, but get ready for the show. I've gone down there with churches, I've gone down there with youth groups, I've gone down there as a rogue do-gooder. These people were experiencing homelessness. Obviously, they're hungry, they need what we have. It's so enlightening when you find out, hey, this is not actually helping.
People have amazing intentions and amazing love that they want to give. And I'd love to help them give that in a way other than feeding on the streets that has a greater impact.
The thing that can happen then is that people don't re-engage with the services here on the campus.
It causes chaos, it causes trash, hazardous waste on the street, and sometimes it's dangerous.
We do see a lot of giving that is in the right spirit, but it's not the things that they need.
Father, I just thank you for Paul. Thank you for his life. That's the whole push behind healthy giving. It's not stop giving. It's not stop having a heart to want to do good. It's let's do it in a healthy way to see what part we can do to help them actually end their homelessness.
Healthy giving is about working with partners who know how to best deliver those donations and contributions.
We have amazing volunteers. They come from all over the valley.
Getting to smile at them and see that they're brightening up, even if they had a hard day, it just really gets me motivated.
Thank you all for volunteering. You guys are awesome.
I know folks feel like
just want to give someone a hug and look them in the eye. Great. Come do that with the trained outreach workers or inside our dining room.
This is a community with a giving spirit.
This is a community filled with people who care.
People whose generosity can improve lives in powerful ways.
Healthy giving can change a life.
This year, let's give in a smart, sustainable way. Thank you. You saw the website up there. I'll give it to you again for those of you that are typing in your smartphones or you old schoolers that are still rocking with the pen and the pad. GiveSmartAZ.com is our website. That is the Healthy Giving Council website. And like I said, this is such an amazing time and an amazing effort that so many different entities, from government to neighborhood groups to former street feeders and street givers to those who have experienced homelessness before. Literally, every fabric of the community is represented within the Healthy Giving Council. And so we've created a website. There's a lot of tools and resources there. There's things that you can download to give, to spread the messaging. So we encourage you to visit our website. Once again, it's GiveSmartAZ.com. So in conclusion, I just want to encourage everybody this holiday season, and here's the thing that we have to understand. People that are experiencing homelessness, they're not just experiencing homelessness on Thanksgiving. You know, nobody is on the street saying, I'm going to be homeless for that Thursday and Friday, and then I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be homeless for Christmas and Christmas Eve, and then I'm going to be okay. This is a 24-hour-a-day, 365-day-a-year problem. And so let's challenge ourselves to be healthy givers every day of the calendar year. We can do it. I believe that you can. I know that you can, because we are great people, and there's good inside each and every one of us. I challenge you to find that good and to spread it to someone else and help them close the gap and help them really take steps to end their homelessness. So myself and some of the other speakers will be available for one-on-one interviews if that's your desire. Get to know someone that you don't know, share some ideas, challenge each other to give healthy today, tomorrow, and for a lifetime. Thank you.